Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are currently still fighting this war against the Union of Izk Center, and we've got kind of a bit of an issue up over here. Specifically, there are just too many worlds. We need to get these fully bombarded. So this one here, this is going to be done very soon. We've got 99 there. I'm going to grab our army here, which is now at 2k strength. This is not fully recruited yet. But I'm just going to head out, and we're going to head to Dacha, because we gotta get this taken care of. We need to get going. So that's fine. We've got our second Corolla over here that still requires some additional reinforcement. Looks like we're mostly lacking food here. I'm going to buy in 1,000 food. We'll reinforce that. And then on the month tick, we'll have the other food that we need. Stingers are very food expensive. Wow. Okay. Oh, we're still 11 food short? Okay. Well, we could buy more, and so we shall. We'll do that. That'll be fine. Now this fleet is reporting as being at full strength. Okay, that's a big deal. So we've got this one down over here. This is needing more. That's understood. And we have reinforcements on the way over here. So for now, I'm just going to leave that be. This fleet is theoretically good to go, but it's not fully good to go yet. That's understood. And up over this direction, we've got this fleet here, which does need reinforcement, and this fleet here, which also needs reinforcement. So we can see that we're also over our naval capacity already. That's going to be a thing. That's the way it is. So for now, that's fine. We're heading in here. The plan is for this planet to surrender via bombardment, and that will happen very soon here. So that's looking good. These guys are coming into Dacha, and the plan is for them to start invading some of these. So not that one. Not that one either. This is currently being bombarded. Are they actually? Yeah, they are bombarding that. So they've got these two bombarded here. That's 2,500. That's 1,700. These are so much. Okay. Why don't we come down over here then? Yeah, this is the place to go then. So Demas is going to be ours shortly. The major problem is Dacha is going to be kind of a split system after this, and that's probably going to drive some conflict in the future. But that's a problem for future us to deal with, not a problem for right now. So that's okay. We'll just let this wrap up. We're going to go in and invade over here immediately. So we're almost in position here now. We're going to go ahead and land on Virlwatra, and this is no problem. So we'll have that under control basically immediately. So in we go here, and I want to have our fleet at this point head up into Dacha because we need to start getting some of these taken over. We're going to go start bombarding at Sol X. Sol 10? One of those. So that'll be fine. Demas has just fallen. That, of course, is a very big deal. I'm going to pull this fleet back at this moment, and we're going to start bombarding on Helito.
The wild
So that seems fine for now, and we're going to have more of these fleets grouping together, right? And that's fine. So we're going to have these guys over here that are going to make their way up and meet us in Dacha. So they're going to head up there. That's absolutely a-okay. We're going to wipe out these guys and hopefully disengage some of our pre-sapient hordes without actually losing them. That's a good disengagement. This one would be the next one to disengage. This is all automatic. We don't have any control over that. I wish that we had like a certain number of manual disengagements or something per conflict. That'd be kind of cool. But we don't. I would manually disengage this right about now. The morale is broken. There's no reason to keep this in combat. There we go. We disengaged it. Good. So their morale is reduced at this point, but it's not gone. Morale is broken here, and morale is broken here. It's over. We didn't lose it. Perfect. So at this point, we want to move back up to Dacha, and we can see that at this point, this is being controlled by the Interstellar Favarian Conglomerate, I think. No, the Agarian League. That's way worse. Okay, so we're going to enter orbit over here. And we're bringing these guys in. they are going to also be entering orbit over this way. So that's going to be a significant problem. We don't really want them to have that control there, although we are controlling the starbase. But that doesn't matter. This is going to be a split system, I'm pretty sure. So that is unfortunate. There's a million worlds here, and they all have a trillion defense on them. So, you know, there's that. We do need to do some reinforcement. So we're going to hop up over here and reinforce these fleets. But I want to check all juveniles. Yes. Okay, I want to check our other fleet here. This one is lacking 2 elders here, but it's actually going to be a little awkward. Lacking 2 mature maulers. We'll need juvenile maulers here. And then this is of 180, so we're going to need to do something about that. This is taking this up to 5 stingers, like that. And then our harbingers are at 10. Our weavers should be ultimately making their way to like 20. And this is currently 1. We need to take those out. We need to add some juvenile weavers here. Here we go. And then I'm just going to max that out on weavers. I think that should be about correct. This is 14, 15, 16. Actually, we only need 4 here. The rest of these should go in as maulers. Okay. We'll reinforce that fleet. That split off this unit here. Okay. I guess it's fine. Whatever. I'm going to send that unit over to Helato 3. As I said, this is a giant mess, right? We know this. So that's fine. I'm going to reinforce this fleet up here for now. We just need to keep our ships flowing at this moment. And this fleet here, this is at 130 out of 180. We know it has its full amount queued up. I'm not going to move it until it gets done. So that seems okay for now. So Dacha is a very big mess at this moment. I want to merge these 2 together, bringing us up to 2.5k. We have more armies here that we can move into Dacha, and it'll take them a little bit of time to get here, but we'll just move them over to here. And then Seoul here, I'm going to go ahead and invade, I think. This is going to definitely be a bit painful, but we need to get some of these wrapped up. Actually, if we're going to invade, it should be here. We should come invade here. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We have this transport fleet here, which should be grouped together with these guys. Okay, there we go. So that seems good for now. We'll get them merged right on in, theoretically. Emphasis on theoretically. There, they're merged in. And we're going to invade Dacha 1 here. So that seems fine. We've got some bombardments going on these other locations. And we'll bring reinforcements in.
The wild spreads.
Okay. So that's all fine for now. We're invading Dacha 1, and this is probably going to cost us some pre-sapient hordes. That's understood. We are absolutely fine with that. We can queue up more of them, which I'm going to do. So that's fine. We'll get more of them going in. And we can just keep an eye on this, but we will win this. It'll just take some time. It's unfortunate that the pre-sapients are, in fact, affected by morale, but they are. So that is definitely not ideal. Disengage here would be good. Disengage here would be good. Good disengage. This one should get disengaged now. It did not get disengaged.
Attack.
So that was a loss. Okay, and we need to check out over here. This is in Darakis. Okay, they're being obnoxious over this way. That's something that this fleet will be able to do once it's good to go. It could upgrade. Okay, go ahead and do it.
Shelter lost.
Okay, so that's upgraded. That's cool. And this down over here, of course, is a problem. We need to get this under control. This really, really needs to happen. So we're working our way through their reserves, but this is going to take a while. They have 1 trillion units on all of these worlds, and they have 1 trillion worlds in this system. So that's going to take some time. So we have these guys on their way in. I want them to come up to Dacha 1 as well. We'll have them merge together, and we're going to have them land here as reinforcement. That'll be fine. Once again, we lose a pre-sapient horde there. It's not the end of the world. These are cheap, so that's fine. Rivalry from the Agarian League. We're almost certainly going to have conflict with these guys. To that end, I'd like to upgrade this Citadel, but we don't have the tech. So for now, that's fine. I do want to continue to work on reinforcing these fleets. So the Whirling Corolla, we're going to reinforce. And that'll be fine for now. We'll just continue to pump those ships out for the moment. So that looks okay. We do see that they have the ICUN Gnaw up in Demas at this point. We'll see what they plan to do with this. We don't have any fleets that... Well, we could send this fleet up to go fight it. Actually, we probably should. I'm going to do that. I'm going to send this fleet up. It's kind of sluggish in responding, but there it goes. Now it's getting started. So that seems fine. Dacha 1 is going to fall here relatively shortly. We're nearly halfway through the reserves. And they're moving off. I don't know where they're going, but they're going somewhere. So this attack is fine. Eventually, we will come and deal with this, though. Here we come. So we're going to stop this attack up over here, and hopefully they don't destroy the system. I don't think they can at this moment.
The canopy is under attack.
So we'll get that dealt with. Allies are on their way in. Okay. To that end...
Lost.
Where is this? Ah, out over here. Yeah, that's to be expected. How are we doing over this way? We are at 172 out of 180. Okay. So that is noted. We do need to get Weathrili back under our control. That is of a very high priority, shall we say. So at this moment, I want our science ship to come up over here, but we can't actually do it yet. We need to wait until this is done. Any moment now. Reinforcements are coming in. We don't need them, but they are coming in. There, he retreated. And now I just want to push up over this direction at this moment. I want to push this further out over this direction. So that'll be fine. We'll just head out over this way for now. I'm thinking we take here for the moment. So over this direction, how's Dacha 1 looking? Well, we're definitely taking losses here, but we're pushing through their defenses slowly. Very painfully slowly. We're making some progress with our bombardment over here, but it's not very much. We mostly just need to get those invasions complete. Now, this force is complete. So I'm going to have that head out over this way to take out this guy and start taking back some of this area out over here. We're just being pulled in a lot of different directions, right? Littogina at this point, by the way, is pretty safe. We should go help this bombardment. So that'll be fine. We're going to go do that. And things feel like they're going pretty well right now in this war. Okay. They've only got so many reserves left at this juncture.
Predatory shelter engaged.
We've only got so many reserves left as well. Keep that in mind, but it's going pretty okay. Sultan, we're busily bombarding, but we're not making very much progress on this, to be honest. I feel like we need to reinforce this fleet, and we will do so. And we're pushing our way out over this direction, which seems absolutely fine. We're going to want to take Jana, but we also want to take all the way up to Fargus. So the question is, how strong is the planet here? Quite is the answer, and that's unfortunate.
Foreign blight.
Very, very unfortunate there. Well, for the time being, Dacha 1 is going to fall very shortly here. We are almost finally through their reserves. So that's good. And we're just continuing to push up over this way for now. We just finished dark matter drawing, although we can't I don't really want to do anything with it yet. We'll get there. We will get there, but I want those resources for other things right now. We can take, like, shield capacitors next. That'll be fine. So I want to head up to Dimmus, and we'll research our projects there. And down this direction, we see that this fleet is on its way in over this way. That looks good. We're now bombarding over at Lidugina, or we're arriving to assist with the bombardment, I should say. So we'll be able to make some progress here, but it's going to take time.
Predatory shelter engaged.
And that's absolutely understood. Now, up over this direction, we're attacking an ore vault, and we are not expecting any
Shelter
real difficulty
lost.
here. There we go. And now we need to push into Jana. And so we shall. At this point, I want to grab these guys up over here. Well, how strong are they? 1K? Noted. Definitely needs quite a bit more to do what I was hoping to be able to do,
Shelter
which
being
was attack
ravaged.
Jana, but we're not in a position to be able to do that yet. So that's understood. Over on
Predatory
Dacha, we are
shelter
still
engaged.
busily attacking here. We are now officially through their reserves. They are now officially going to be having a weaker front line. Excellent. They cannot, well, they can disengage, but they're just, it's not good for them to disengage at this point. They have no additional reserves, and we've disengaged very few. We've taken quite a lot of losses, actually. But that's fine. These are cheap. It's okay. Cool. So they've only got 3 units left. Unfortunately, we're hitting their back line. We really should be prioritizing their front line, but here we are. What do you got? This is worthwhile. Max districts +2 and max generator districts +3 for 200 minerals? That's really worthwhile. Absolutely, we take that. Okay, I want to grab this fleet here,
Shelter
which is
lost.
combining together. There we go. And we're going to move them up to Dacha, because we've taken losses. We need to bring in reinforcements. And so we shall. We're working through their back line here. Unfortunately, I really wish
The
we were
void is
hitting their
not
front line,
ours
because if
alone.
we were taking out their morale damage, or taking out their morale, we could take less damage overall, but alas, here we are. We are doing some damage to their front line, so I guess that's okay. These guys here, they're going to need to start bombarding for a lot. There's no way around it, really. We can go this direction, of course, but for the moment, I'm not interested in that. So bombardment at Sol 10 is still happening. We're doing some bombardment up here as well. It's not much, and this fleet is not set to indiscriminate. So we'll get that going. That seems fine. Okay, now we're at a point where their frontline morale is broken, and we're taking almost no damage. So that's perfect. Very, very good there. At this moment, down over here, we see that they have a force here. I want to come in and attack that. And we're going to just push them back over this direction again. That's the idea. So that's all looking good. We can take a discovery tradition, which gives us mycelial networking. And what do we want to do? Defender of the Galaxy is damage to void worms and endgame crisis factions and good diplomacy. But then there's also galactic force projection, which is ridiculous. Since when does that give 100 fleet command limit? I think we should take this. Okay, so that honestly, that helps us for now, but that makes our problem substantially worse in the long run.
Scattered remnants.
So that's
reclaimed.
understood. It's fine. We will solve the problem.
Predatory
It's not a
shelter
big deal.
engaged.
So the second Corolla is currently fighting in Atropon, which is ideal. We're bombarding in Jana, and we are going to be done on Dacha 1 very, very soon here. This invasion has taken a long time, no doubt about that. But we have
Invasive growth
reinforcements
engaged.
on the way in, and that's all looking good. There's more reinforcements, by the way, over here, and we're just going to let those group together, and we'll have them head out. Perfect. So I want to attack here, and then we want to push out this direction towards Algol.
We take root on alien ground.
Okay, so now we have control over Dacha 1. And we want to head over to Sol 10, probably. What's the weakest? 2124, 2474, 1775. Helijo 3 is actually weaker. So we should go land here. And so we shall. So our forces are going to repair over the short term while we're working on this, but mostly we're going to need to bring in reinforcements here. And that's absolutely understood. The reinforcements are, of course, on the way. So we have this force here. That's another 1K in strength. And we're going to go land here. As soon as this invasion has actually begun, we're going to start bombarding on Helito 1. And
The wild
there we go.
Spreads.
They just instantly surrendered? That's remarkable. What happened here? That's very strange. Okay, they instantly surrendered. I guess we'll accept it. So we need to merge these together, and apparently we lost our leader at some point, so I'm going to put in a new leader here. And we want to go for probably... None of these are relevant. We'll go for probably something like this.
Predatory shelter engaged.
Okay, so this transport fleet here is going to head down to Sol 10, and this transport fleet is merging in with them. So we'll let them get caught up here. Is that just me, or did we lose 800 units in this invasion? We're at 1.4. We were at 2.2. Wild. I don't know what happened with that. Maybe that was a bug. I know that this version of the game is buggy, so perhaps that was what happened. I do want to get this unit reinforced. We'll get that going. That fleet's at full strength. And up over here, the Whirling Corolla we can reinforce, which is now reporting as being at full strength. And that is fantastic. We're continuing to pump out ships, and that's looking good. We're going to get... We're going to have to completely rework our fleets after we get the war over here. There's no doubt about that. So we're going to head into Algol over this direction, and that will be fine. Now we have our reinforcements on the way in over here. Okay, this is now at 2.7K. We'll go ahead and land. We do have more reinforcements coming in, and I want these guys, which is only 241 units, I want them to come in and land on Sol 10 as well. So we're currently busily bombarding here. This is going to be a fairly difficult engagement for us. But let's go ahead and land.
The wild spreads.
Once again, they instantly surrendered. We gained control via orbital bombardment. Interesting. So once our ships are landing is when they're just like, you know what? Pass. But look at this. 1.4K instead of the 2.7K. Interesting. Well, let's head on up to Helito 1. At this moment, we have control over more planets than the Agarian League does, and we have control of the starbase. What do we think the odds are that they'll yield these two planets to us? Yeah, I don't think they're very high either. So we're not really strong enough to invade this unless they instantly surrender again. So that's definitely something to think about. We do have this force over here. We can bring in reinforcements, and that's fine. So over here in Algol, we can start bombarding Agstur again. And that's actually very close to surrendering. So we certainly want to do that. There's also Drogina over here, which similarly is close to surrendering. So let's get going on that. I'd love to get Dacha fully under control at this moment. Littlegina would be fantastic to get fully under control too, but that's a long ways away. So it feels like the Union of Izk Center is on its last legs. That said, these guys down here, they're still going. So there's that. So that's certainly noted. I do want to head up over here, and the question is, would they surrender if we land here? I'm going to do it. These guys are all on their way over. I'm going to land and see what happens. Everybody else here other than the one has surrendered. So let's land and see if they instantly surrender again. And take a big chunk of our units with them. They did. Okay. So Dacha is fully under control now. So that means that the burgeoning Corolla here can head over to Jana, and I just want them to help out with this bombardment at this moment. So that'll be fine, and the whirling... What? Goodbye. The whirling Corolla here, I want to have head out over this direction and push in like this, taking Fargus. That's their capital, by the way. So there's that. That is, of course, going to be very significant. So we're busily bombarding here and here. Both of these should surrender pretty quickly. That shouldn't be an issue. Bombardment of Litugina, of course, is a whole nother story. This is going to take some time. So that's understood. We may send an army down there to invade that and get that done more quickly. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue to push up over this direction, and hopefully, the Agarian League will flip these over to us. That's the dream. I don't know if they actually will. If that happens, it'll be on the month tick, I think. Yes, they did. Beautiful. So that's excellent. We now have full control over this system. And that's a very powerful system for us. So we're very, very happy about that. At this moment, we can head up and research in Jana, which we're interested in doing. But like I said, it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to keep on pushing. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.